We are live.
And so, great predictions by Nikhil Naz and Siddhant Maheshwari picking up RCB.
I don't know why I switched.
Yeah.
I had it right.
You're worse than us, actually.
Yeah.
We at least maintained the one that we had picked. For you, you had picked the right one and then
And
got
then
all
went
scared
dumb.
and then changed it. But what a disastrous batting performance by RCB. And unlike the wicket that we saw at the Wankhede the other day, which was really not conducive to stroke making, and that was a low scoring pitch, and you knew that chasing any total is going to be tough. I can't say the same about the Maharashtra Cricket Association ground in Pune, simply because yes, we've mentioned it earlier as well that it tends to help fast bowlers, but this
No, but that was
wasn't
more like
great.
poor batting than
Yes,
anything.
that's what I said. This is not that example. This has got nothing to do with the pitch. This was absolutely poor batting. Can you show us the scorecard, please, Shivam?
Shambolic is the
Yeah.
word. Shambolic batting display.
Yeah, 29 run loss in a
145
game where
run
you were
chase.
chasing 145. It's a 29 run loss, which is a big margin of defeat in a T20 game.
Yeah.
And considering that they were only chasing 145, they have nobody to blame but themselves. And the question that I'm going to ask the two of you is that at the start of this game, I raised a very valid question, which was, can they bounce back from that 68 all out? And
The answer is
Shane said, yes, of course, if there is one team which knows how to bounce back.
No, but
with
I
no
really
other score,
thought
it's
that-
RCB.
I also said it.
Yeah, Siddhant was like, no, it's just one game. You forget it. You recharge your batteries.
The
and
way,
you come out all guns blazing.
hey Nikhil, we have to say that at the halfway mark, you thought RCB have forgotten all about it. The
No,
way
that's
they
their
bowled,
bowling.
the
That's
the
their
way they
bowling.
bowled, but who would
The
have thought?
stars was on the batting, not the bowling.
Who would have thought their top scorer will be Faf du Plessis with just 23 runs?
of 21 balls.
That Virat Kohli face. Close up.
Imagine Kuldeep
Sitting
said,
like this.
but Kuldeep
First
said,
time I've seen him like this.
Like this?
First time.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is,
no, but I've seen him bite nails way too many times.
No. I'm just saying, that image. Today again when he got out, Virat Kohli, walking back, he had that wry smile, but yet it was an extension of the reaction last time where he looked defeated. He looked helpless once again. He just didn't know what to do. That wry smile was trying to hide the pain clearly.
Yeah.
And this reaction, when they're all out, he's just sitting and pondering over what has just happened to the team. He's not a happy chappy, that's for sure. And I've not seen him like this before.
How did he get out today? You remember? Went for a pull, got a top edge that hit the helmet, and then Riyan
Beaten by
Parag.
pace. Let's
Yeah,
be
beaten
honest.
Prasidh
Beaten
Krishna
by
by
pace.
Prasidh Krishna, and
Beaten
the ball
by
carried
pace.
towards Riyan Parag, who ran forward and took the catch.
No, beaten by pace. I'm telling you, for the batsman that Virat is, as I said earlier, there can be phases that you could be out of form, and Virat is clearly going through that phase, extended phase I might add. But his dismissals, the way he's getting out and beaten by pace, for a batsman of his stature who has an ego, he will have an ego, and he deserves to have that ego. He's achieved everything that you possibly can on the cricket field. Boy, that's going to hurt. It's not going to be easy. I'm saying even
I'm also hurting tonight.
club level batsmen, when you get out very, like getting out is one thing, but if you get out like completely beaten, that hurts your ego. You think about it for days to come.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Virat Kohli, who I mentioned earlier, could almost walk on water, is not getting runs, but the way he's getting out, boss, alarm bells are ringing. This is
Yeah, suddenly
serious
RCB's season also suddenly looks like,
Yeah.
oh, are they going to make it? Are they
And-
not going to
and-
make it?
that will add on the pressure because he's such a team man. Virat is such a team man. Had RCB been winning, which was happening,
It would have
earlier
been
in the-
better.
Because he's a team man, he would have enjoyed the success of the team and said, okay, fine, my form is not great, team
But
is
the
doing
team
well,
is
we are
winning.
winning.
That's what he was doing early parts of the
Yes,
season.
yes. You could see the excitement in the field, taking a catch, celebrating a wicket because he knew the team is doing well. This is now, a hole that he has never been in before. Can he find a way out of that? Can he crawl out of it?
And can,
I don't
by
know.
extension,
This
can
is-
even RCB, because today's match, if you look at that scorecard, the top 6 batsmen highest strike rate is 109 by Faf. That is shambolic, whichever way you try and spin it.
I also Faf and Glenn Maxwell getting out of consecutive deliveries.
Really
Just-
changed the momentum.
just
Today
change the
I
game.
can give them a bit of leeway with the strike rate simply because they weren't chasing a big total. And I'm guessing the strike rates would have improved had you had some
someone stuck.
partnership. Yeah. So we are going to get trolled. So this Mr. Bala on Twitter is saying, as some sports experts advised RCB, he's saying quote unquote, RCB should forget this game as well. Remember we advised that they should forget that game.
That's actually perfectly valid advice.
Yeah, exactly.
They should forget about
Yeah.
this game
No,
as
but
well.
I think the thing is that we
Yeah,
had thought
he's-
that they had forgotten that game.
Clearly not,
But
no.
they're saying that now these experts say they should forget this game also, and
Correct.
then probably say the next game
No,
also.
but
you
a
forget.
lot of alarm bells also in the sense, who got your wickets? You see, Ravichandran Ashwin is really not your biggest wicket taker.
Yes.
Kuldeep Sen coming back into the side would have been under pressure.
Kuldeep Sen, they were playing as if, again I'm going to repeat, this is a great pitch for fast bowlers, and I've been saying it from game one, from that first game of SRH versus Rajasthan Royal, where the RR bowlers were looking menacing with the new ball, because with the light, now this is the history of the Pune pitch, this ground, with the
Comes to
lights
life.
on, yeah, it comes to life, you'll see like some good nip in the bowling, all of that agreed, but come on, Kuldeep Sen, you're playing as if Michael Holding is bowling or, come on, he's no Michael
4
Holding,
wickets.
man.
4 wickets.
I was saying, even I am hurt because I did not pick either Ravichandran Ashwin or Kuldeep Sen in my
Kuldeep Sen.
fantasy.
Yeah, same.
And Ashwin took 3 wickets.
I didn't pick Prasidh either, to be
No,
honest.
Prasidh I took.
Terrible by RCB. Man, that 68
Has
out
really shattered
has
them.
left scars, deep scars that we thought may have been forgotten. This game hasn't been. And now is when it gets worse. And you know what happens in sporting teams? Okay, one bad day and you tend to come over it. 2 bad days, and bad days such as this, these are very tough to overcome, because see, sometimes what happens that the lack of confidence tends to spread, and it spreads like wildfire, and then that self-doubt creep in, and one guy is, see, I'm saying your best batsman, whatever said and done, despite his form, is Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
When you are in the dugout and you're watching your best batsman struggle, it cannot give you confidence. It will have an impact on your game. Your best batsman struggle against a fast bowler, beaten on a short pitch delivery where he was clearly late in playing that ball. I'm telling you, if you're a young batsman, put yourself in a young batsman, and Virat is, what he is, he's getting out of like that. Very tough. Very, very tough for anyone to.
No, but nobody else also stood up. I think so. They look at Suyash Prabhu Desai for all that he promised in that first game. For all that we also talked about, he looked really good in that first game. Hasn't come to party for them at all after that.
I think if
3 games, I think so. What? Not even 20 runs in total, I guess.
Look, I think if you want a summation of the way this game went for RCB, it was in Dinesh Karthik's run out.
Oh yes, that summed it up.
Because
I'm going to say one thing.
yeah.
Death, taxes, and Dinesh Karthik run out
Ugh.
are a permanent in everyone's life.
Yeah.
You cannot avoid it. In fact, I was saying that this new Dinesh Karthik, I'm so happy. Not only is he striking the ball well, he seems a bit reassured, calm on the field.
Yeah.
Because the Dinesh Karthik of KKR, you'd remember,
Oh, yeah.
you knew it was like he's got ants in his pants.
Yeah.
Every time he would come out to
Jittery,
bat,
very
you
jittery.
knew he had
Restless.
ants in
He's
his
a
pants.
very restless figure.
First
Restless figure.
so I'm not, I remember my previous stint in other organization, and we'd be watching the match with a few former cricketers. Every time Dinesh Karthik would come out to bat,
It's like,
his
oh
former
God.
teammates, and they'll be like, nah, come on, it's going to get exciting, because there will be 1 or 2 run-outs. Either he'll be run out
Or
or
he'll
someone
get
else will be.
someone else run out.
First few deliveries, it's always like this. He'll play the ball, and yes, no, yes, this 100% go back and see all of Dinesh Karthik.
No, but my point is,
It's back.
The way he got out just summed up the innings for RCB and their shambolic batting display. The guy thought he's run out even
And
before he was
up.
run out.
He gave up.
And he
I
gave
mean,
up, and then suddenly realized, oh, maybe I can get there. And then Chahal somehow managed to
it
disturb the
says a
bails.
lot that the initial reaction of Chahal was
Yeah.
because he knew he had
No.
messed up. He knew he messed up.
But Karthik had already given up.
Yes. The problem is Dinesh Karthik messed up in the run out, and what's worse is, after that, he's coming back like looking at that.
He's looking. That's ball watching.
Yeah, exactly. No, he missed it.
Not-
Had he run back,
Yeah.
dive,
He did not
would
even
have
try. He
reached.
gave up.
Yeah, he
My
gave
point
up.
was,
Because Chahal had missed the ball, but Dinesh Karthik wasn't trying. So first he goofed up in that run out, and the most interesting thing is, he was upset at the non-striker. He was telling him, "What do you?" But
To
it
be
was
fair, I
your
think
fault.
no. But to be fair, if you watch that, Shahbaz ran halfway down, then changed his mind.
Sure, but that wasn't a run.
It
If
wasn't
you
a run.
went,
No.
So Dinesh Karthik had just reached half the pitch. Now to know that if it's a full run, he's reached half the pitch, and he should have been comfortably be back to then conclude that it was an easy run. Dinesh Karthik, had Yuzi Chahal collected the ball in time and got it out, would have been just halfway down the pitch. What did that tell you? There was no run.
There was no run there.
Yes, and I agree it was Shahbaz's call because it's gone behind the non-striker there, and so it's the striker's call, yes or no. But I don't know whether he called or not. But you should have said no.
Bad runouts and DK is.
I'm
like
not sure. I'm actually. I don't. I think so. It was both of this fault because Shahbaz because he was already. He
was
came down
halfway
the track.
Yes.
He came down the track to hit the ball.
Yes.
The ball went, and because Shahbaz DK thought was running, that's why DK went. And then DK suddenly realized, oh, this guy stopped. Then.
But was that
the
a
ball
run?
went.
It
That wasn't a run because
Not by a
halfway the
long
pitch
shot.
he cannot come back. That means even Shahbaz, let's assume if Shahbaz continued to run, he wouldn't have made it.
No, he would have been run out too.
Yeah, that's another thing that
No, Yuzi Chahal was almost
tried his best.
Tried his best.
To give his former team like some lifeline, but no.
Yeah, he tried his best.
No, but more than the DK run out, you have to say the others. What did they do? They also did nothing, right?
Yeah, at least you can give him that this thing that okay, he's performed another game.
Sai Srivastava's super chat is funny how RCB will have their DNA and culture intact even after changing captain and whole team. Start well
And fall off.
fall off.
That's actually their trend. It's
Bang
their
on.
pattern.
Sai Srivastav.
And a lot of people might call us RCB haters and all, but all my friends who
I'm not an RCB hater.
No, we are not. I'm
We're
saying
not. We're pointing out facts.
I'm just gonna say all my friends from Karnataka who are big RCB supporters are pointing out that this season is again going to be like all the other seasons. That RCB started off well and now gonna drift away and not qualify for the playoffs at all.
Sai is pointing exactly that.
They have that. Like they'll peter off. They'll have one innings
Because-
where everyone will collapse, where the batting will just seem non-existent.
So what is it? Why does it happen? Like he's right. So their DNA is intact. The captain has changed. The coach has changed.
The
But
players have also actually. There's been a lot of reshuffling.
Yeah.
So, my God.
In fact, Yuzi Chahal was kind to them today. He
Did not take a single
wickets,
wicket.
Was trying not to do the run out also.
No, but
He was so soft on his
Ashwin
previous
wasn't. And then when you make Kuldeep Sen look like
Michael
Like a world beater.
Michael
Like
Holding.
an
Wasim
absolute
Akram,
world
whatever
beater.
Michael Holding. No, we should give some credit to Kuldeep Sen also. He bowled the right line and length. But I thought RCB's players could have played properly, right? Glenn Maxwell, first ball, slashing hard. But that's Maxwell also.
That's just Maxi things.
But that slip was in the perfect position. It was not the first slip. You see, Devdutt Padikkal is between second and third slip or thereabouts. They knew they were working towards a plan and they got the better of RCB.
Also, let's not forget, because we were talking about that Virat Kohli dismissal, which did not look good, and they're showing it again and again on replay. He was clearly late on the ball, but you have to say, even the stay before that, very lucky to have stayed.
When he tried to flick.
Yes, he was
Bolt.
so uncomfortable, like a cat on a hot tin roof against Bolt.
Yeah.
Those two edges, that 1-4 also was off an edge inside. Again, that bat was left hanging outside the off stump. That's why both the times he got those edges. Also, not to forget, could have been caught there. Fell short that first strike. He tried to flick.
Yeah.
Just fell short of the field.
Daryl Mitchell just fell short of
Just
Daryl
fell
Mitchell.
short of Daryl Mitchell. Then got a good 4 after that.
But that was it.
That was the only shot where he was in control.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, that now it's no more about bad form. There is, it's affected him mentally. Whether it's lack of confidence, I think that could be the only thing, because he's not going to become a bad batsman overnight.
You don't lose
He
your
cannot.
technique overnight.
Absolutely.
So,
And you cannot just overnight be a guy who cannot find runs. You just cannot be that. And those shots, see, I'll tell you with that. Those shots, those inside edges, because they're showing. What is that showing? When you're a batsman and you're trying to make an extra effort to score runs, that's when you push at the ball, and that's what Virat is doing. A batsman in form, the first sign is he'll allow the ball to come to you and then you time
play
it. That was Virat Kohli's strength. He allowed you see all those inside edges. What is he doing? He's there, he's pushing to the ball. And that's a sign that you're eager to get runs, you're eager to hit a boundary, or you're eager to get off the mark. That is the first sign of a batsman not in form. And as a Virat Kohli fan myself, and I'm guessing anyone who follows Indian cricket would be a Virat Kohli fan.
I would be concerned for sure as to what is going to be happening.
I'm concerned. This is for the first time telling me that he is tentative. He's
Yeah.
been off form, in the England tour. He was out of form, but he wasn't tentative. You knew there was a technical error there. So what did he do? He went back, fixed it, came back.
But really, what's the solution? Because Virat, it's
Yeah.
been 8 games now.
I'll
was
tell
the last?
you
When
what
was
the solution is. See, in situations like this, and having spoken to a lot of players, in situation like this, only thing that you're lacking is self-confidence. Okay, so how do you push that self-confidence? There are two ways of doing it. One, by scoring a lot of runs. But how does that run come when it's a vicious circle? So I think the only way to boost that self-confidence, and this is where people who are close to him come. Remember we were talking about where people need to have this conversation, and somewhere, no matter who you are in the world, I give you examples of film stars, of TV anchors, or anyone who's achieved some amount of success. There are always self-doubts. No matter how much you've done,
Yeah.
there is a stage that you reach where you think, you know what, I'm not good enough. Can I do this? If you're an actor, can I do this scene? Or if you're a sportsman, can I win this match? Can I win in this situation? That self-doubt comes in, especially when you're losing or that performance hasn't come. That's when you need a group of people who you trust close to you, who tell you or remind you that, listen, you're Virat Kohli, man. You got such and such knock in Hobart when the position was such and such thing. You smashed the bowling like this. You played this such and such knock versus Pakistan when everyone around you was falling. You played this knock in Mohali when everything around. I'm just saying, these are things that people remind him. You need someone to tell you, and which is why, again, this is the other thing that we pointed out. Maybe, I know that he must have great people around him, but come back to Delhi, man. Come to your academy. Play around with the same boys that who you played with. I don't know, sometimes that helps. Even if that's not the solution, he will know the solution. But all I'm saying is people around him need to boost his confidence. It's a confidence thing. Now
but that's the problem. The confidence has hit sort of rock bottom. Everything he's trying to do, it's not happening for him. Every time he goes out today, 2 boundaries, then you thought maybe today is the day, gets out in that second over.
Comment on Sai Srivastava super chat. Is that
Harry-
correct?
Yeah.
Harry Kane
Agreed.
Spurs equal VK.
Absolutely correct.
Shane and I looked at it and we just laughed.
Yeah, because it's true. Because Harry Kane is one of the most decorated strikers England has ever produced.
He's going to be
But-
the best striker England has ever produced. In fact,
if you look at the
with
numbers,
the way his records
look at
are
his
going.
numbers.
Yeah.
He's targeting the
But
Premier.
he ain't no Virat Kohli, man.
No, but the point is the comparison you're making. Obviously, I don't
Only
think
for
he's
IPL.
RCB,
Yeah,
only
if you're
for
talking
IPL.
about that comparison, that they have one star player who will drag them.
Yeah.
He's been that player for Spurs.
No, but I refuse that. I refuse to say, because I really like Son, Heung-min Son.
Yeah, but Son came into his element much later. If you're talking about players who define Spurs, it's Harry Kane.
Who might not be a Spurs player
For too long, but
Yeah.
and it's the same with Virat. Fantastic individual player stuck in a team that can never seem to win anything. So
Rajneesh Jha is saying that Kohli should hire you for motivation.
By the way, I do a great job in motivating people. A lot of my friends, whenever they're down and out, they tend to call me because
I remember
some
this.
People, some people, I remind them of the good things they've done, all the good things that have happened to them that I remember, or give them some positive stories and motivate them.
That is nice.
So yeah, I could do that. I would love to give Virat that. I mean, if it helps Indian cricket, anything, man. Just that I'm sure he has a gazillion other people who are more qualified than me to give him that talk.
Therapy expert also, Nikhil.
So Nikhil says, my namesake, he says, same game, same person, same skill, same preparation, same fitness, same bowlers, only difference is state of mind. So intriguing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everything is the same. The only thing can be the state of mind, which is why I'm saying, sometimes you need an external person or external resources to help you tune that state of mind or make it better, which is why I'm saying whoever are his go-to people, whoever can motivate him, whether it is coming back to Delhi with his childhood coach, his friends, whether it is, I don't know, spending time with some other folks that he really trusts, it helps people.
But I
to remind him.
think it should be left to him, right?
Yes, he do. But
he
you know
would
what is
know what
happening?
he needs to
What
do.
is happening is, see, because again, ever since, and this is again, I'm saying from the outside, I'm no expert and I do not know exactly how, but the kind of impression that we get now, and I'll also say it as someone who's covered international cricket as well. What has happened recently, and when I saw that, see, post his marriage, and now that he's a father, a lot of his time goes in domestic care. He's with his immediate family, and mostly he must be, I mean, you love your child, you're with your wife, you're doing various things. So sometimes you cut off. When I say cut off, you're not cut off in terms of practice. He's working as hard as anybody on his fitness, on his cricket or whatever. But he's not always talking about cricket. He's also, which can work to your favor sometime when you're off cricket. But I'm saying when your confidence is low, and let's say your wife or your parent or brother says things, it's okay because that's family, you expect it. I'm saying sometimes you need external people, especially people related with cricket, which is why I mentioned the coach. I don't know who other can be the support. It could be some kids who played even the under 19 level and are still friends and they still play cricket. Those guys, I'm saying cricketing connections, and because they can talk cricketing things, they can remind him of those knocks that they may have been in the ground or certain situation that they are in. So that helps more than immediate family. I'll give you an example. Like let's say if I'm a anchor and if I'm going through a bad phase where I'm making a lot of mistakes while anchoring, and that if I go home, your mother, wife, everyone is going to say no, it's okay, so I may not take that seriously because I know they're always on my side and whatever they're going to say, so I'll never get honest opinion from them. So I may go to another colleague of mine who I work with.
Sometimes you need to hear the hard bit also.
Yes, to a former colleague who understands that medium and who's going to be harsh to me and say, no, yes, you did goof up, but I think you're also the guy who did this, which was well. Why don't you try and emulate that? And you were going off track because over the years you started doing other kind of thing. You started emulating someone, whatever, whatever. That's what I'm saying. So you need someone from the circle, and that's just my view.
There's just another thing. There's a counterpoint. Is that if he's talking to people who are within the sport, oftentimes whether you are involved directly in sport, whether as a player or coach, you're often very one-track minded when it comes to if you have to sort out a problem in the field, you sort it out there. At this point, I don't think his problem is going to be sorted out on the field. Honestly, I think he needs a break and he needs a complete disassociation from the sport.
But the point, that could be. But I'm saying whatever little I've seen of him, he's been disassociated with the sport. In the sense, he's playing, yes, he's training, whatever. But I don't know how much downtime does he have with people who just talk sport or just talk cricket. Sometimes that can affect you. What I'm saying is that he's got another life, which is great. And sometimes it works for a few people that you don't take your work home, as they say, and I don't think he does that, which may have been working for some time. But if it's not, I'm just saying there is no fixed formula to know which is the right way, but things are not working. Maybe it's time that he says, no, let me take my work home or to somebody else who understands that. And I'm saying spend a bit more time with people who are going to tell you things as it is, because your immediate family or your immediate circle always tend to console you, but
always be on your side. They'll never tell you the hard stuff that you need to hear.
I think he needs to hear the hard stuff.
But do you think Kohli has hit rock bottom right now? Is this rock bottom for him?
By his standards,
close enough. Even the Kohli 1.0, which was no match to Kohli 2.0, which he mentions. Remember, he says that entire story that he looked at himself in the mirror while he was playing an IPL game, and he saw his belly, and then he said, "Come on, am I a professional athlete? No way." And from there on, a thing clicked. Even in those days, where I'm talking about the Kohli of 10 and 11 or even 9 before that, right?
Even 2013, 14 also he was.
He was still
better, but he hadn't.
I'm saying that Kohli was once in a while he would do well, but not consistently get you those runs, right? But never this long. He even in those days, what I loved about Kohli, he had that suave, he had that attitude. Even if he got out, you felt that this guy is so confident.
Yeah, 2012.
That he doesn't worry about what.
2012, that Hobart innings only, the way he was mocking the Australian bowlers all around.
Okay, Sai Srivastav, please stop spending so much money on the super chat. Just send us a question like it, and we'll read it. He says RCB.
He sent 899 rupees.
No, this is after him sending 3 other chats of quite a higher amount. So, which is why I'm saying, don't do that, Sai, please.
We also care about you guys. Yeah.
RCB winning and Virat Kohli not performing wouldn't at least affect him that much as RCB losing and him not contributing at all. I feel this is the reason for his mental state. Sai, bang on.
Well put,
and this is exactly what we said earlier, that Virat is such a team man that had he not been scoring runs, he would definitely be worried. But he's a team man that he enjoys the success of the team so much. It may have helped him, tide over this, extended dry run. But now with the team also not doing well, and the best example of that was that image I keep talking about. If you guys haven't seen it, probably see it in the highlights. that once the game is over, everyone's getting up to go shake hands, and you can see a despondent looking Virat just sitting on the dugout chair that he was and just staring into the sky and contemplating and thinking, and he must be thinking, where are we as a team? What a great start we had. And again, maybe the memories are coming flashing by of all those seasons as we were talking about, where they start off well, and he was just thinking like that, and for the first time he seemed helpless to me. And that's very disheartening to see as a fan of Indian cricket, as someone who's seen him
as a Virat Kohli fan, who's enjoyed
It's a massive
watching him for so many years.
as
now.
a guy who the cricketing world feared. I mean, I remember those
Everybody Fab Four discussions would start, and everybody would be like, Virat Kohli is my first pick. That is how it was.
I remember those documentaries of the Australian team where they would be talking like, oh my God, Virat Kohli, the superstar of Indian cricket, he came out and there's Cummins and there's Langer and all worried, oh my God, and then this nice montages music
The documentary,
playing.
the test.
And for the first time as an Indian fan, I felt the Aussies were looking at an Indian player just as how we used to look when Hayden and Gilchrist and we're like, oh damn it, like this Hayden is out and then Gilchrist is out.
That's the kind of aura he created by playing such,
He's the
such
only,
great
the
knocks.
only Indian
He's the most feared
who
cricketer.
no Australian dared sledge after a point, because
Yeah.
they're like, he'll not only give it back 10
He would
score
fire.
200 runs.
That's the point.
the
They
point.
stopped sledging Kohli at one point because that would just fire him up. You saw in Adelaide also when India had lost that test, both centuries. He got hit on the head. That woke him up. After that, he was playing. What a fantastic knock he played. Unfortunately, India lost the game. But he took them so
that
close.
was outstanding.
That brilliant knock.
innings,
Yeah,
both innings.
that's what. Both innings was fantastic.
Okay, Sagar Singhal has a very interesting point. He's saying RCB is such an unlucky team. From 13 years, their bowling did not work, and now that when their bowling is working, the batsmen are able to.
And it's not like they have a bad batting lineup, it's a pretty good batting lineup.
And I told you Hasaranga can score a few runs, even though he is the second highest
highest run scorer.
Second highest scorer, 18 runs
Not
of
good.
12, 13 balls, whatever.
Maxwell is done. I think he got all his run last season. So I think he scored runs in 2014.
He got retained.
No, 2014 he scored. Then took him 6-7 years to get another season to score. Now he scored last season. Now wait another 6 seasons before Glenn
And the
Maxwell
moment he
comes
turns up for Australia, he'll be playing like a dream.
Yeah.
Also, with one thing I have to say about Glenn Maxwell, even in 2014, he was a consistent disappointment in all the big games. I remember this because 4 times KKR beat them. 2 of those was qualifier and final. Didn't perform in either of those, and they had a very clear plan for targeting him. They would always either put it on his legs or that area, make him swing. He wouldn't get enough arc room, and he would hole out. So if you can figure him out, he's not that hard a player to actually.
Today there was no figuring out.
There's
He's
need to
playing
figure
like
him
Michael
out.
Holding is bowling at
And he's.
edge no.
Also, no, there was a rash shot playing well away from his body.
Exactly.
But Maxwell has those brain fades. He does.
No, Maxwell's biggest brain fade was coming down the track and leaving a ball that got like smashed into the stumps. If you guys have seen in the BBL Melbourne
Yeah, I've
Stars,
seen that.
he
Is
was
that the
playing
most
for.
watched BBL video?
It must be
close
because
to.
I have, I think so, contributed some 30 odd views at least over the years. If you guys haven't seen it, make sure you go on YouTube after we are done with this chat. Go and watch Maxwell brain fade and just write bold. Okay, you will see one wicket where he just comes down the track, leaves the ball and gets bowled.
So even what was he thinking leaving the ball? If he didn't get bowled,
Brain
he was getting
fade.
stumped.
Brain fade
Next level
moment.
brain fade.
No, and I think so. He also after a point laughed about it. He said, "I don't know what I was doing."
Yeah.
Shankar Sahu is saying Virat just needs to watch his 2016 highlights. That's true. But
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have done that by now. I have a feeling. Which is why I extended that logic by saying also needs to go revisit some of those guys who are going to, tell him like it is, really point out his old.
2016 Virat was
Next level.
so good.
Nikhil, comment of the day has come courtesy Nikhil, my namesake. He said RCB is like Bangalore's traffic. It's not going anywhere. That's true.
The problem
Worst
with
traffic in
the problem
India.
with them is
Bangalore.
now they've lost 2 games in a row. Then Netranet has suffered in a huge way, and because of the
Confidence is
traffic
gone.
jam in the middle now, because Punjab Kings are also at 8 points now. Don't forget, the moment Punjab Kings win the next game, they'll be
They're
above RCB.
Yes.
What do you make of Abhi Adhikari's comparison? Riyan Parag is like Harry Maguire of Man U.
No, disagree with that in multiple ways because I don't think Maguire is as bad as people make him out to
he's
be,
saying-
but he's been very average.
No, so his reason is, I'll give you and then you can finish. He's saying because I agree they are meme materials, but still sometimes they are trolled for without any reason.
True.
Yeah, so is
That
that
is
comparison
true.
then fair?
That's
No,
true.
I'll give you an example. The other day when United were playing Arsenal, Harry Maguire was benched because of his poor performances. That first goal, if you see how United conceded that
was
goal,
horribly
you'll laugh. Rafael Varane missed a kick. He could clear
Alex
it.
Telles
Then
also missed
Alex
a kick.
Telles, who could have cleared it, also missed it. Okay, it was a comedy of errors, and then of course you had Tavares coming.
First Saka hit it against the post,
Saka hit it, and then
Tavares just
then
rebounded
Tavares
it.
just scored the goal. Unbelievable
If
it
had to
was
be
to
Harry
watch.
Maguire doing that, he would have been. Imagine after one game, he literally got a bomb threat. Poor fella. It was a bomb threat in his house. So
Okay, Bhumish Benewal is saying Harshal Patel and Riyan Parag didn't shake hands after the match. Harshal was wrong, but he faced a tragedy, so it's understandable. People are hating on him.
I don't know who's in the wrong here, honestly.
Firstly, to say
honestly
Harshal is
don't.
wrong is also
No, apparently, as I told you guys,
Yeah.
that I saw both of them
Yeah.
having an argument.
But we don't know who started
And
it.
after that, apparently, I read somewhere online, I'm not too sure how it was,
yeah.
that even RR, other players and all exchanged, there was a war of words between players from both sides.
Ooh.
So I'm not really sure what exactly happened there, but maybe, and also the fact is that the broadcasters also did not show anything.
Yeah, they cut it
so
off
we
very
hardly
quickly,
got to
very, very
see
quickly.
much. But somebody, I said it was a PTI copy, which said that there was a war of words between them, and the players also.
No,
did
what
not
a word
shake hands.
between the two we saw, but you're saying between the two teams.
between the two
when it got extended.
staff or team, whoever it was, like in the dugouts apparently.
Okay.
Like
To
when
keep
they
an
were
eye out
walking
for this
back,
story.
apparently
Just
something
check
was
maybe
changed.
on the phone. Can you find something that is there? Maybe some latest update on that. So we'll refrain from commenting till we know the.
Actually, no, because I didn't know
Exactly.
who was wrong. So
Yeah. Lalit Ashtapurte says, sir, can Virat go and play Ranji Trophy for Delhi, get the confidence again and come back? If Puji is playing county, why can't Kohli? No, Kohli can. But the problem here is, it's not that he's not getting enough cricket. If he
Yeah.
play county or something, Pujara went because he's not playing the IPL. And Pujara is predominantly a test player.
And he's
he
been
needed
dropped
to
from the
play.
test team too, remember?
Exactly. So he needs to go play there. In Virat's case, he's playing now. He's very essential to white ball cricket. So, Ranji Trophy, red ball cricket, I don't know whether that's going to help. And India is going to be playing a lot more white ball cricket after the IPL as well. So that will give him another chance then to get his form back ahead of the World Cup. So I don't know if Ranji is the answer, not necessarily. Ranji is an answer for players who've been dropped and are not getting enough cricket at the top level. I don't think that's the case with
open
Virat.
that first link, Shiv. First link.
Taha Kazmi says, for the first time in my life, I've seen Virat Kohli on a hot tin roof. He was never uncomfortable. I swear I've never seen Virat this uncomfortable. I've got to agree with you, Taha. We pointed this out. For the very first time, I am seeing Virat Kohli helpless or defeated in certain things. Images after he's getting out, that golden duck of, the left arm fast bowler from South Africa. What's his name?
Janssen.
Marco
Yeah,
Janssen.
when he got out to Janssen, and then now again gotten beaten for pace by a Prasidh Krishna bouncer. Never easy for any batsman. It hurts the ego of any batsman, let alone a batsman of the stature of Virat Kohli. You can imagine what he must be going through during that entire innings.
Yeah,
Just didn't look comfortable. See, again, I'm
This is what happened.
saying the thing that he was pushing at the ball, and when you're pushing at the ball and not waiting for the ball to come in, that's a sign of a player not in
playing up to
good
the
nick.
mark, yeah.
It does show that he's very eager, over eager actually, to get some runs, and that can never be good. Needs to calm down, but can't be easy. It's easier said than done saying from here.
Yeah,
He'll be looking-
considering
No,
he must be trying his best.
no, absolutely he is. But what is the correct solution? He would know best. But I know we can only speculate from outside. So yeah, I saw that war of.
So this is exactly what we were able
We
to see.
also.
No,
And
but we
apart
don't
from
know
this,
who's
we
right
don't know.
or-
Yeah.
nobody knows.
So
that.
nobody knows because I saw the RR support staff laughing and trying to put Harshal Patel away from Riyan Parag. Simply because Riyan Parag turned back. Maybe
Scroll slightly low.
something was said to him, and that's where
Niche,
Riyan
niche.
Parag turned back and started mouthing off as well. And then Harshal was also
Must
mouthing
have
off.
been said.
Must
Both
have
the
been.
In the
players
heat
had
of the
a heat.
moment.
In the heat of the
Come
moment,
on.
this happens.
Leave it on the cricket field. Move on.
You saw Virat Kohli celebrating the way he was against David Warner.
Yes,
You remember
yeah.
that?
Like in his face.
Like something random keeps happening.
Storyteller writer has an interesting comment. He says, I think Virat needs to hang out with Riyan after today's game. He seems to be a happy-go-lucky guy. That's true, actually.
Considering
Hang
the
out.
amount of flack he gets on social
Yeah.
media, as I was pointing out, the last time Riyan Parag had tweeted
Shane,
with
you're testing Ryan and asking him.
Josh Butler greatest and all. He had put a lot of greater than symbols. People were not commenting about Josh Butler. People were commenting about that you should do something. Why are you in these sides? Kisko paisa khilaya hai? What not? So he gets trolled like that. But clearly does not matter to him. And which is the best way? Leave the noise.
Thumbs up to Riyan Parag.
Like Harsh.
Love this, because no matter what people have been saying from the outside, whatever trolling, I can imagine he must be going through a lot. But to show that character, come out and perform the way he did. He actually said it in an interview to Sports Today, where he said that I shut out the outside noise. He is walking the talk.
Hamara Parag is doing it right.
Well done, man. Riyan Parag, kudos to you, man.
Eight game finally
some
scored
more
runs.
videos. Social media always has something. This is the only thing they
No,
have.
because he's right. Actually, the
broadcasters chopped it very quickly.
So if that is the only video that you've got, and then the teams came in and just
I
calmed
think
things
so.
down.
The thing is, you might have seen it on the web platforms, but on television you might not have seen it.
No, but it's
possible.
the same feed.
No. Sometimes the web stream, because you don't have enough sponsors.
Yeah, the
sometimes
web
it's a
stream
little
sometimes
longer.
will show you different things.
Yeah. So Nazmul Hussain is saying, still you will say that BCCI will not drop Virat in the coming World Cup. Yes, Nazmul.
They
I
won't
will
drop.
say it.
Yeah.
Simple as
How
that.
can you drop
Anything
Virat?
else?
Not right now.
Saurabh Mukherjee says, is this what separates Weekend and Sachin? Don't think we saw Sachin struggle this bad for such a long time. I strongly believe he's mulling to leave T20.
Different.
Saurabh, no, I'll tell you the
Tennis
difference
elbow time.
is,
Sachin also struggled.
No, he did. But I'll tell you what happened. I think that the difference is, see, Sachin was a more pragmatic sort of a personality as a player. Virat is more flamboyant. So that's the difference, firstly. Yes, Sachin had bad patches, not an extended run like this. Also because I think, one, there wasn't so much scrutiny. It was, a lot of it was pre-social media time.
Yeah,
There's
is
a lot
true.
of scrutiny
That
now.
is true.
There wasn't any IPL that, every performance,
Was looked at.
Correct. Thirdly, we're also talking about Virat coming off a bit of, leaving his captaincy and all of that. You remember Sachin's form also got affected when he had the captaincy. Eventually, when he got the captaincy for the second time, he decided to leave it because it was affecting his batting form. Then, of course, he found his form going forward. Also, Sachin, you have to agree with this fact, and this is what, that Mohammad Asif video which has gone viral, where he pointed out that Virat is more of a bottom-handed player. Whereas Sachin was a top-handed player, which is a more traditional, orthodox way of playing. So what you do is, in situation where you're struggling, or there's a technical glare, or there is an issue, a top-hand player, a more conventional player, finds a way to score runs, and this is what Sachin did. In Virat's case, because he's a bottom-hand player, he needs that hand-eye coordination to be spot on, which is why I'm saying when he's pushing at the balls, that's showing you that he's a bit eager.
He's edgy.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Then the other thing that just goes in Sachin's favor is that since there was not too much T20 cricket, you don't have this pressure of strike rates, and he could spend a lot of time on the
only
crease.
test and ODIs.
Correct. Spend a lot of time on the crease, just get into form. Cricket also was slightly different in those days. Now strike rates are looked at very closely, and then Virat has to perform at that level. So many things, again, different personalities also. Sachin always had this cocoon that I'm talking about. Again, because I was giving an example of how you need to sometimes, beyond your, your family, like mother and wife and all, who are always very supportive, not very clear. You need people who are like a bouncing wall for you, who say things as it is. And in Sachin's case, I'll tell you that, was his brother Ajit. So Ajit is such a great reader of the game. I'll tell you another story. I did a session with Sachin a few years ago, an interview session. Before we were going in, we were having breakfast, okay? And there was a question that I had, and he just wanted to know a few questions that I was going to ask. So the question I had asked, I can't remember exactly, it was about the state of the game, some changes to the rule or something like that. So he had an idea. He says, okay, I'm going to say this is my idea. But then he wasn't sure, because see, again, it was a radical idea. So you know what he did? He said, just give me a second. Picked up his phone, called his brother Ajit, and bounced that idea off him. And then Ajit had his own inputs and came. Why I'm saying is, you need a, in your immediate family, like mother, wife, brother, whatever, may not be hardcore cricketing people. When you need, that's why I keep saying in I don't know who that could be in Virat's case, maybe his friends, so he played cricket with, maybe his childhood coach, I don't know, some people, maybe someone like a Ravi Shastri who he shares a bond with, I don't know who is. So what happened in Sachin's case, he had that. So he could bounce it over to someone who knew cricket, and Ajit used to play cricket as well. He was actually the one who started playing cricket.
And because of that, Sachin picked it up. Correct.
So he was a reader of the game all the time in his years, and that person who could tell him, no, this is wrong. So that's the comparison between Sachin and Virat.
But
so,
I just want to add my 2 cents.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
look
please.
at the benchmark set by Virat Kohli. Even with the kind of form he's struggling with, everybody is pointing it out.
Yeah.
His average is still at least 4 or 5 runs better than what Sachin had during his career.
Yeah.
So that is how good
but
Virat
different
Kohli.
times as well.
I'm saying
Different
times I agree.
That's
but,
another argument
But
I can have.
I agree with that. But I'm saying that benchmark Kohli has set that everybody looks at him right now as if he's not scored any runs at all. Yes, in the IPL probably hasn't had a great time this year. But apart from that, even in ODIs, if you look at his average, Sachin's overall average over his career is less than 45. Kohli is still averaging in the last 3 years above 48.
True. Siddharth's comment here is very interesting. He's saying the main thing with Virat is that he is trying to show that he has no problem with his batting and he's trying to play shots from ball 1. He should take his time first. I think, you know what point Siddharth is making very good. I think the first thing to improve, and this is a general norm in life, is to accept that there is an issue.
Yeah.
Is Virat accepting there's an issue, or is he thinking, no, it's just a phase, I get better? I don't know. I'm just trying to look at a past instance, and the England tour again comes to my mind.
It has happened with him once before.
So he accepted it.
He accepted it, and he talked about how it was such a difficult time for
So
him.
there should be no reason why he's not
And
accepting now.
I think knowing Kohli, he knows it himself that this is really
he's
not working
accepting
for
it.
him. I believe
Yeah.
so.
Because
Valid
I
point.
mean, the reason when I said last game, the previous game, when I said that when he got out, he looked defeated.
Yeah.
It's because I think he himself realized at that very moment, yeah, you know what, this is not just a temporary slump.
Yeah.
It's been going on too long, and whatever it is I have been trying, it's quite clearly not working.
So if he was defeated last time, what was the Rice smile?
I think that
indicative
was
of this
just
time?
disguising his feelings, honestly. It just, he's clearly not sure of anything right now. Even when he was batting, he looked so jittery. He looked at times like a tail-ender trying to bat, the way he was swinging. It was just, I don't know.
Pushing at the ball, never a great sign. Karthik M is saying, all is well, Nikhil sir. Virat is just bluffing. He is emulating Warner. Will be the highest run scorer of the T20 World Cup.
So should we expect Virat Kohli
Amin
to sit
to
in
that.
the stands? I'm saying, should we expect Virat Kohli to sit in the stands and wave the RCB flag towards the end of
Do you
the
want him
season?
to do that? No, because a lot of people are pointing out that should he rest, like Ricky Patel is here, he's saying should he rest during the IPL? I don't know, that's a personal call. But knowing Virat, I don't think he would want to rest. He would be so restless to get runs that he'll come out every time trying. I don't think he's going to rest. If that rest indeed does happen, it will happen post the IPL, where then there'll be this gap and he might take a rest.
The series against South Africa starts 10 days after the IPL gets over.
Yeah.
So I think quite a few key players might be rested for that.
True.
Because
Very
that will
likely.
give them a 20-day rest overall, and then they'll play the others. Series.
Yes. R.N. Natani saying cricket is a great leveler. It is the epitome of rags to riches, Rian, and riches to rag in Kohli. Never seen him so helpless. R.N. that's true. And yeah, I mean that's
He's
what
not talking
sport
No,
is.
but it's not a comparison at all.
No, he's saying that, you know, Rian
Rags to riches,
was-
riches
no,
to rags.
What, he's not talking about money as such, but he's saying Rian
Form.
always like, you know, he
Butter
can never
jokes.
perform, nothing, and suddenly has a great day. And
One
Virat-
game, boss. But my point is one game. Virat Kohli has won new series, won new matches for years. You can't compare, irrespective of what you're trying to say, RN. I'm sorry, I don't agree with you because cricket might be a great leveler, but Virat Kohli is here and Riyan Parag is not even close.
Rajneesh Jha says Virat should learn from Anderson and evolve in order to prolong his career. Rajneesh agreed, but what is there? So again, firstly, fast bowler, he needs to adapt because of fitness issues going forward, and so he did have to adopt to, you know, have a longer career. In Virat's case, fitness is not an issue, but yes, he does need to evolve as a batsman. And I'll tell you, there could be indications that he's evolving. You know, sometimes we're just assuming he's not. Maybe things are not working for him. So, for example, we know that he's a bottom-hand player. We've spoken about it earlier as well. And what happens to bottom-hand players is that hand-eye coordination is very, very important. Case in point is Virender Sehwag.
Oh, perfect example.
But for all you know, he may be evolving. Maybe we are not. I don't know. Maybe he's not playing those lot of bottom-handed shots that we keep talking about, extra cover and cow corner, which he
Yeah.
used to. He's not playing those shots. Is that a sign of evolution? Is he doing it? Maybe realizing that maybe with my reflexes slowing as I age, those may not be my go-to shots. So maybe let me try.
Frankly,
and figure out
one
other
of
ways
my
of looking. I
favorite
don't know.
Kohli shots is that punchy drive. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That like suddenly
That's
you
also
see
not happening.
that I have not seen in a long
Yeah.
time.
No,
agree.
yeah, actually.
He might be pushing at stuff, but when Kohli is on song, he's continuously punching that delivery. I've seen him punch balls for sixes.
Yeah,
Against England and all when he was on top form, and that's not something we have seen in the last few days.
Yeah.
Pakoda.
Pakoda.
I just hope that that's not your real name and that your parents did love you. He
So,
said you
four
guys
items.
should rest along with Virat. I wish we could do that. We're so in desperate need of rest. We work every single day, but we also enjoy watching cricket.
Yeah.
So the advice I can give Pakoda is that maybe a few days he can rest and not tune into a channel, and that will allow him for some rest. As for us, we're not as lucky as Pakoda. and I again sincerely wish that's not your real name and that your parents did indeed love you more and named you something better.
Anyway, I want to shift our focus a little towards Rajasthan. They are currently top of the table. Who would have thought? And considering their middle order, those issues that we talked about, that what if Butler and Hetman don't fire?
And they
Today,
didn't.
Riyan Parag came to the party, and we have to say 145 on that pitch also looked like a massive total with the way RCB batted.
Yeah.
And credit to their bowling. The kind of changes they did today, I think Daryl Mitchell, even though he scored only 16 runs of 24 balls, deserves another game. Because he gives you a decent bowling option, as you
True,
must have seen.
true.
And I think the one thing that will make Rajasthan very happy is that we keep saying that the reason they were winning were primarily because of four people. Those were Hetmeyer, that was Butler, that was Yuzi Chahal, and that was Trent Bolt. All four of them didn't have a great day today, and yet Rajasthan found a way to win. And I think that's the biggest positive for Rajasthan Royals, and that now definitely makes them one of the
I mean,
top
who are the top
contenders.
wicket takers? Kuldeep Sen and R. Ashwin, who we had all written off.
Ashwin, today, by the way, 17 runs of 9 balls, got out after hitting some 4 boundaries.
Of Mohammad
I
Siraj.
did not think that was a great experiment, irrespective of anything anybody says.
Yeah.
But Ashwin with the ball. My entire point, in last game he picked a couple of wickets. This game he picked 3 wickets. My only problem with Ashwin over the years has been that he's not been a regular wicket taker. He might be good with the economy rate, but he was not taking that many wickets. But last 2 games suddenly changed he's proving me wrong, which is great.
A lovely
Yeah.
question from Storyteller Writer. He says, do you think Rohit and Virat discuss their batting with each other? I wish they do. You think so?
Wonder what that discussion would be like. Stick to your processes. Do the basics.
I don't
No,
think they
I'm
do.
averaging 17, you are averaging 19.
Ha,
Yeah.
lol.
Yeah.
Could it
I
be?
don't think they do, especially now because they're rivals in the IPL. They may sit and discuss it later
When they're working,
after
yeah.
when they're playing for India. Also, got to remember they're completely different kinds of batsmen, so may not help. But yeah, they could be sounding board to each other, give each other some feedback. 2 great batsmen, why not? That'd be interesting. But talking about suggestions, Virat did go to the great Brian Charles Lara after the last game, but that clearly hasn't helped that talk because he didn't look any better. So maybe with time it will help. Neeraj Singhvi says, hello Nikhil sir, big fan. What do you think about Sanju Samson's captaincy? I've been impressed actually. He's been quiet, but he's been going about his business very well. The way he marshals his troop, his bowling changes have been good. And team selection today, for example, made the 11 a much more balanced would be the right word.
Yeah, because the middle order, which is already looking thin, actually
he's
got
getting
another
better.
decent,
Yeah.
addition in that regard.
I think Samson that way, because they are now on top of the pile,
Yes.
I think deserves a lot of credit. Even though my only concern is that his batting, irrespective of that 1 minute that he played in the last game, has sort of waned off after he started off so well. But captaincy wise,
You can't fault him, yeah.
defending 145 and the kind of changes you pulled off. And for me, the biggest point nobody is talking about, the way Glenn Maxwell got out. The slip placement was perfect
Yes.
to the tee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devdutt Padikkal was standing not on first slip where you usually would have somebody. He was standing somewhere between second and third slip.
Exactly, because
And
they
that
knew.
is exactly where the ball was bowled and then went flying. That way I feel Sanju Samson was absolutely brilliant tonight.
Few comments. Bappa Ditya is saying RR SRH final. My prediction. Okay, because they are the best bowling attack. We'll remember that, Bappaditya, if that happens. Karan Sutar says, I think Virat needs to become real Virat, who works the ball initially and then accelerates. He's just trying to become a player, which he is not. Also, I think a valid point. And today was a perfect day to do that. He didn't have to go
kept saying
attacking.
that, is that there's not many runs to score. Take your time, get used to the pitch, hit. That didn't happen.
But that's a sign he's anxious.
Yeah,
As I said, pushing at the ball, first sign of being anxious. And that's so unlike Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
Vignesh says, you know you are good when your number 3 batsman comes and takes 3 wickets at an economy of 4.25 in 4 overs.
Good one.
Good points. And he was trying to
Number 3 batsman.
bat aggressively as well. There was a bit of a tiff between Siraj and Ashwin also.
Yeah. Send off.
The send-off was massive.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, now all the Rajasthan Royals team players can laugh. Also, the fact that they won this game after 5 losses against RCB.
Ooh.
They lost the previous 5 encounters against
wow,
RCB.
that's interesting. I didn't know.
So Rajasthan
Last
have
one
won
they did.
one game after ages against RCB, and well, they deserved it. They bowled really well.
Amit Sharma is saying, can anyone give me Virat's birth time? I have to go to a Panditji. Oh, that's
I think you
tough.
can find it online. It might be.
Time
Might be
Time
available
might be
somewhere
difficult.
online.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, these big people, they have their. If you search Prime Minister's Janampatri and all, you will get that also.
My God.
Yeah. Love Rami is saying UCL loading. Yes. Are you guys doing a live after the
We
game?
will do.
Yeah, that's our plan.
So they're looking forward to that good game. Pakoda is back, and Pakoda this time has made a cricketing comment. So I'll take it again. But even when he didn't make a cricketing comment,
took it
I still
anyway,
took
so,
it.
yeah.
Pakoda, he says it's time for Vijay Shankar now to be given a chance. Looking at how Priyan Parag is done.
Vijay Shankar has had chances for years. Poor
Pakoda,
guy never
you're
did
very
anything.
naughty, Pakoda.
Uh-huh.
No,
Are you a paneer pakoda, mixed pakoda? Which one are you?
Oh my God!
He's
Nikhil.
that mirchi wala pakoda.
Mirchi.
Got all that fire.
Abhi Adhikari is saying, I think there should be a round table meeting among Virat, Rohit, Ishan, Shreyas, Mayank and Ruturaj.
कि भैया करना क्या है?
What do we do?
Yeah.
Shivam.
Good one, good one.
I
Include
thought
Jadeja
Shivam
also.
was sleeping all this while. Suddenly he's woken up.
Include Jadeja also in
You're
that
not
round
sleeping.
table.
I thought you had gone to sleep.
Who should be giving the team talk then to those guys?
Ravi Shastri. Did you read his interview, by the way, the one which he did recently? Typically bombastic.
Everyone's so excited about the UCL. Many comments coming. 25 minutes to go and all
Yeah,
that.
big game.
Yeah.
No, trust me, our family members love doing this. That day we were doing football stuff and they're like, Shin sir, what are updates on the race? And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. No, the Formula 1 videos are doing very well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Better than footy.
Yeah, better
Actually,
than
yes.
football.
The football ones, by the way, go crazy on Facebook. I have no
Yeah,
idea
football
why.
gets far more views on Facebook
Yes,
somehow.
I pointed that out.
He was pointed out to me and I'm like,
Yes.
my God, what is this?
Okay, Nikhil.
Shrujan is saying missing Siri. He will be jumping with joy because of RCB.
You just know he's going to come tomorrow and he will make a few comments about this match regardless.
RCB, yeah.
You just know it.
He'll be like, I told you guys. He'll come here and he'll be that with that smirk on his face.
I
He'll be
told
like,
you guys.
I told you guys.
Hard
It is
CB.
hard CB. Hard CB. That is what he'll do
Oh
tomorrow.
God.
Okay, I know a lot more comments, but we'll wind up for the night. We want to look ahead to watch the UEFA Champions League
Yes.
game. But as a reminder that we've discussed a lot of issues, Virat actually in depth at the start of the show. If you didn't quite catch it, go back, rewind it, and we've discussed
We
it in
discussed Virat
detail.
start the show in the middle of the show also.
And at the
like
end
No,
twice,
we went on
thrice.
for 40 minutes
Yeah.
just talking about
Virat,
Kohli.
yeah.
But that was a nice discussion because we tried to discuss it threadbare. A reminder, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today. We're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. We keep bringing you fresh content from across the world, not just cricket, but a lot of football, Formula 1, Indian sport we focus a lot on. And don't forget to download the Gamezy app because you stand a chance to win up to 5 crore daily in prize money. Thank you so much for your company. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:45 for the preview show. What's the game tomorrow? SRH.
It's Gujarat Titans
What a
versus
game.
SRH.
One versus, not now, but it
Two
was
versus
before
three.
this.
Yeah.
1 versus 2. But
But
now
even
it's
then,
2
this is the
versus
top of the table clash.
Top
One to
two
definitely
versus